We have a very cool one here for you today. One that just came in yesterday. Get to check it out here. Nice case. I don't think it's original just because I have one similar and it doesn't look like this. But there you have it. A dirty, in need of some work. Very cool, gorgeous fingerboard as well. Gibson SG from 2010. Doesn't really need full restoration or anything like that. It's just dirty, especially on that pick guard, but that'll clean right up. It has a fair amount of wear and tear on the bottom here. Honestly, nothing that on a 2010 guitar I would be worried about. Now, if this is a 2020 Gibson or something, I'd be a little skeptical of how this thing was treated. But for 2010, who cares? It's a little chewed up on the bottom. One little spot up here. Not bad. The back, gorgeous wood tone. I love these things. I don't own an SG, but I've had several. You might have seen my video. I think I've done at least one on the Epiphone SG400. I've also owned, if memory serves, two of the very, very cheap Epiphone SGs, like the $100 or $150 ones with only two knobs. A little bit of scarring on the neck. You can actually see it pretty well there. I'm surprised that shows up on the camera. It's not deep. It looks deeper than it feels. Playing this, you would almost never feel it. And there's no strings on it or anything right now. There's not even a bridge on it, so I haven't played it yet, of course. Very cool vintage tuners. You can see our Made in USA 2010. And the guy who brought this in to me to get set up said that the guy he got it from didn't pay too much for this thing. So either someone didn't really know what they had or just didn't care or what have you. There's a chance that it could be a Gibson, a Chinese Gibson, so a fake. But I really, really, really don't see that. We have, kind of all the hallmarks of a good, real Gibson. It's got the multiply pick guard that just looks really gorgeous. I love that. A really nice fingerboard. The fretwork as well is immaculate. It's exactly what you would expect from a Gibson and that Gibson quality. And at least from my personal experience, and that might not be definitive for everyone, but typically on Chinese guitars or on fakes, the fretwork on the sides is just bad. You get a lot of fret sprout and you get just sharp edges. And these, I know the camera will struggle to pick it up a little bit, but these frets are really nice. They're very well rounded. Now, of course, you could get a Chinese guitar knockoff or something and do the fretwork yourself, but that's kind of weird. The only thing that gives me a little bit of pause, and I just have to look it up on this specific model because I'm not a Gibson guy. I own one. That's it. I just don't know that much about Gibsons, but I'm not 100% sure if this would be the original truss rod cover. I always thought they had something printed on them, but again, I'm not a Gibson guy. I really don't know. Certainly not a sticker on there. Some of the worst Gibsons out there, it's literally a sticker. I love that. So yeah, it's a pretty cool guitar. One little issue down here with the knobs. It looks like a knob broke. This one on the top probably broke and was replaced with a very similar one, but not the exact same. That actually happened on my Les Paul as well, and I replaced the knob the first time and it was like close to a match, but it just wasn't perfect, and then finally found the perfect one. And knobs are so cheap, it was like $3, and replaced it, and you'd never know. Switch feels a little loose, a little loosey-goosey in there. I haven't looked at any of the electronics yet. I have not opened up anything. Like, this pickup is super, super high. I haven't touched this guitar other than what you're looking at right now. So we will get it all strung up, get it set up, get it playing perfectly, clean up this body, rehydrate the fretboard, polish these frets, do everything we always do to guitars and get this thing showroom new and ready to rock and roll. And one thing I do have to say about the SG, and I don't know, again, I'm not a Gibson guy, I don't know what model this is, if it's a standard, a studio, a deluxe, or, you know, all their other options. It is razor thin. Just extremely thin. It's got that nice belly cut on the back for big guys like me. It's got that nice carved top, but it barely weighs anything. This is a very lightweight guitar. Very thin, very playable, much better in terms of weight and playability and comfort than my Les Paul. So I'm pretty excited about this one. I've always liked SGs. I've just never found the perfect one to be a keeper for me because the price is very high and I just don't want to spend that much money on another 6-string. But that's me. So yeah. We'll get everything set up and do a little demo and review video on here for you. I noticed the nut too, it's just really dark on top. I don't know what that is or how that happened. I'll hit that with a mineral oil and see if it comes up. If not, it's not a huge deal. I don't think the owner of the guitar is going to be too worried about just the nut being dark. And then we're also going to, hopefully, I don't know if these are going to work yet, but we've got some black humbucker covers that he'd like on there. So we kind of change up the look of it just a little bit. I've always personally liked humbucker covers as well, mainly because this area down in here just gets so dirty. It gets incredibly dirty and just filth and grime from your hands and all that dead skin, which is probably what all this stuff is too. And it just builds up in there and it's very hard to clean. So I kind of like the covers also. I think that's a good idea. And of course, it won't change the playability, the tone, the sound, anything like that about the guitar, just aesthetics. Make sure, sometimes I've had on a couple Les Pauls and not on ASGs, but on some Les Pauls with 2 pneumatic bridges, sometimes over a long period of time, like if this had been sitting in a closet or something for the past 5 years, these posts will seize up a little bit and they become really hard to take out. Like that one was seized a little, but if I can do it with my hand, then it's not a big deal. So just checking those. Ooh, it's got some burrs on it. I don't know. We'll smooth them out. Yeah, be a cool one. So we'll get it all cleaned up and I'll run you through what I did and we'll give you a cool demo video. Back on this SG, we've got just about everything done. Not all, but just about. Everything cleaned up, looking very nice and shiny. Still need to adjust the pickup heights. I did not set those at all and didn't realize that there's actually quite a bit of gap on this bridge one. Neck's not too bad, but the bridge is too far down, so we'll lift that up a little bit. And then the knobs, one of the knobs actually shattered when I pulled it off, and it was already the wrong color to begin with, so it wasn't the right knob. But we're going to order a new set of knobs, get something cool that looks pretty neat on there. But yeah, other than that, it cleaned up really nice. It's strung with 9-42s, which are a little bit light for my personal taste, but actually on this guitar, they honestly feel pretty good, and that's from somebody who plays exclusively like 10s and 11s. So let's go ahead and plug it up and give it a little test drive. Got the pickup height set at a good spot and ready to go, plugged into the Katana 40 watt. But first, a word from our sponsor. If you guys didn't know, I also write fantasy novels. This one, it's an author proof. You can see a little like not for resale badge on it. Coming out, or actually just did come out a couple weeks ago. I haven't gotten my first order of books in yet for me, but go ahead and check it out. I'll leave links to all my stuff in the bottom there. Anyways, back to the guitar. I've been fooling around on it literally for like 30 seconds, not a whole lot. You can hear it clean. This is clean on bridge pickup, and we're just rolling without knobs for now. Sounds like an electric guitar being played clean. People who ask for clean on electrics, it blows my mind. The neck, I think, sounds better. middle position. But it's an SG. SGs are kind of iconic in the metal scene, thanks really to Black Sabbath. And this is a really cool SG. I like it. The neck isn't like the best neck I've ever felt. It's got just a little bit of like friction, I guess, on it. But it's a very good neck. I like the neck. It's very, very thin. The whole guitar as well, extremely thin. I mentioned it before. These things are not thick. It barely weighs anything. Super lightweight, just really easy, functional, good SG. I like SGs a lot. A cool thing with SGs is the neck attaching basically at the top of the guitar, so usually a bit longer than other stuff, which takes a little bit getting used to. It did, at least for me, the first time I got an SG in and did a demo on it. I think it was at 400, I can't remember. But it plays really well. It plays phenomenal, as you would expect a Gibson to play. I also cleaned up that nut. You can see, if you go back and look, it was like real brown and nasty. That actually came up like with just a microfiber cloth without even trying. So no idea what that was, but it's gone. Let's do first, we'll just put it on some fuzz. This is the Tiny Fuzz from Maz Effects, or MAS Effects. I still don't know how to say it. On the bridge position. And let's keep it on there, and we'll go to neck position, because like I said before, I actually kind of like that a little bit better. And I may have set this pickup even a fraction too high. Probably send it back down just a little bit. Very easy player. Like I said, nice smooth neck. I've got the action set actually pretty low without any fret buzz at all. It's right at 1 millimeter on the 12th fret first string, and like just at 1.5 12th fret sixth string, which I love tunematic bridges. They're so easy. They're just the simplest bridges to set up, and you can get perfect action as long as you have a good action gauge and remember which direction to turn the thumb screws, because I did it wrong like 8 times in a row, and then finally was like, all right, I gotta focus and pay attention to what the hell I'm doing. Let's go back to the bridge and we can give it a little, this will be the Dungeon Master from, I believe it's Idiot Box Effects. I can't read it. And this is an HM2 clone. Very cool sound. I love the HM2. It's just a classic, iconic tone. And we'll put it through just some heavy distortion with the noise gate. Oh, I played that like shit. Should mention, it's like 10 degrees and been snowing here all day. My hands are cold. It is hard to play quickly with cold hands. That sucks. But the channel's also called No Frills, No Skills. So you can never hold me accountable for poor playing. Tell you that. All right, we'll do, this is the Noisemaker Industries Borealis, which is my favorite reverb. I've used it on the channel a bunch, talk about it a bunch. It just sounds really cool. And we're on the middle position. We'll do some bluegrass. Of course, you would always go to an SG first if you were playing flat picking bluegrass. That's just a fact. But let's go neck position. We'll put it on the empty glass and the afterneath. We'll make a little doom. That's kind of a cool sound. Let's turn on some drone. Yeah. I think with the afterneath, it's crushing the signal too much. Turn that down. Nah, I think I just have the settings all messed up on that. But we'll send it through the Alpha Haunt. Haven't done that one yet. You can hear a little radio coming through there, but I know the noise gate is turned up for a different pedal, so it won't work on that. I do love this fuzz though. I love that Alpha Haunt. It's a great pedal. But anyways, there you have it. I do really like that neck position. I don't know. I believe these are the stock humbuckers in them. I don't know. They looked like it. I looked up some pictures online just to kind of get a feel of, is this thing stock or not? They look dead on, so I'm assuming they are the stock pickups. That said, I did not look up what the stock pickups are. Probably should have. But these are very cool. I like them. The guitar as a whole, solid guitar. Very nice, extremely playable. It has a few things that I don't like that are kind of traditional SG things. One being the strap button on the back. I talked about that in the Steinberger video that I did. It puts a kink in your strap, so that drives me nuts. Now on an SG, where else are you going to put it? I don't have an answer to that. If you put it on this top horn, it's just going to look awful. So that's really the best place you could put it. It's going to be on the back no matter what. So that's kind of unavoidable. Other than that, this black pick guard, no matter how many times you wipe it down with a cloth and everything, it just always looks dirty no matter what because it's black and it's high gloss. So it's always going to show every fingerprint, every cat hair, every human hair, just everything shows up on it. And that drives me insane. But there's, again, just nothing you can do to avoid that other than getting like a matte pick guard or something. Though I really, really, really like the SGs. My favorite color in them is that Pelham blue, I think they call it. And the SGs that are 2 humbuckers, 2 pneumatic, and no pick guard. I think that's really, really nice. And if I got an SG, a keeper Gibson SG, that'd be the one I would get. But other than that, it's a really nice guitar. A lot of people love these vintage style tuners. I like them too. They're pretty nice. I have noticed the classic Gibson, G string going out of tune issue, but these strings are extremely, extremely new, and they're clear tone strings, which was just in the case with the guitar when I grabbed it. And I've never used those before. I'd never actually even heard of them. They feel all right. They don't feel like my favorite strings, like String Joys. And for being 9s, there's a lot of tension on this first string, which kind of surprised me because usually 9s, that first string just feels floppy, and this actually feels pretty good. So on this scale length, which should be just your standard Gibson scale length, that first string's actually not bad. Yeah, overall thoughts, it's a killer guitar. These things are, professional, stage-ready, quality instruments, as everything Gibson makes is going to be, and the price is certainly going to reflect that. I have no idea what kind of price you put on this in the used market for a 2010, now being 14 years old, and with a little bit of wear and tear on that bottom. Not much, especially now that we cleaned it up. It really blends in well. And honestly, it's good wear and tear. There's good wear and tear and bad wear and tear, right? Like this good wear and tear, it's from somebody actually playing it. It's not from somebody dropping it. So that, to me, is good wear and tear. It's a little bit of relic. But yeah, I don't know. At least a $1,000 instrument, I would guess. But somebody in the comments tell me how wrong I am. Like I said at the beginning of this video, I'm not a big Gibson guy. I have one Gibson Les Paul, and it weighs 35,000 pounds. So it just doesn't get a whole lot of playtime. I would play a Gibson SG if I had one. I would play it a lot more. It's just a cool guitar. It's fun. It's versatile. You've got lots of different, configurations and sounds you can make out of the pickups. And you've got, of course, your 4 knobs. I'd love to put like some Fishmans or something in one of these and see how it goes. So yeah, pretty cool. Love this fingerboard too. It's a really nice. I never see it on this really low quality camera that I record on, but very nice wood grain in there on the actual fingerboard, and it feels great. So feels fantastic. I really like it. Let's see, we'll end you with maybe a little more finger style. best run through that song, but not bad. I think I have the 6th string maybe a touch too low. I was getting a little bit of fret buzz up there that you could probably hear. Other than that, though, all the strings sounded good. And when I played just a little softer, when I noticed it buzzing, played a tiny bit softer, buzz went away. So it's just my heavy playing. So honestly, it didn't really buzz that bad, so it's just the way I was playing it. But yeah, there you go. Let me know what you think, and if you have an SG, and if you have one in that Pelham blue color with no pickguard, hit me up. I would like to get one of those at some point, but I kind of plan on going to the Gibson Garage to grab one of those. And if you haven't been to the Gibson Garage in Nashville, go. It's so cool. Very, very cool, but take like $5,000 and don't tell your spouse. Then go to the Gibson Garage. You'll have a much better time. All right, we'll see you in the next one. Got some cool videos coming up. Stay around.